Have you ever felt like you're literally fighting a battle against yourself to build a new habit? You know, you've got the desire, but for some reason, something just doesn't click. Well, today, we're going to dive into a really powerful framework that mashes up the deep psychology of cognitive behavioral therapy with the super practical strategies from Atomic Habits. The goal? To give you a unified guide for making change that actually, finally, sticks. So, let's get into it.
It's the big paradox of being human, isn't it? We want to exercise more, we want to eat healthier, learn a new skill, but it so often feels like our own brain is working against us. But get this isn't a personal failure, it's a design feature. Our brains are built to save energy by running on automatic scripts, what we call habits. So the real question isn't about how to force change, it's about figuring out how to rewrite those scripts. So many of us think that to change, we just need more grit, right? More willpower. But what if that's not the key at all? The real drivers of change that last aren't just these random bursts of motivation. Nope, it's the systems we design for ourselves and the environments we live in. There's a great saying, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And that right there is the first huge shift in thinking you need to make.
Okay, so to change our habits, we first have to get how they work. Every single habit you have, the good, the bad, even the ones you don't notice, follows the exact same neurological pattern. You can think of it like an invisible script that's just running in the background of your life. And the cool part is, once you can see the script, you can start to edit it.
This loop actually brings together two really powerful models. In Atomic Habits, it's a four-step process. In cognitive behavioral therapy, they often call it the ABC model. Antecedent, behavior, consequence. But you know what? They're describing the exact same thing. A trigger or an antecedent in your environment leads to a behavior which then results in some kind of outcome or consequence. This is the bedrock pattern of all human action.
Let's make this super real. Picture this. You walk into your kitchen. Step 1, the cue. You see a plate of cookies on the counter. Right away, step 2, the craving. Your brain predicts that sugary, delicious reward. That craving is what pushes you to step 3, the response. You grab a cookie and you eat it. And finally, step 4, the reward. It tastes amazing and your brain basically goes, okay, file that away. Let's do that again. And just like that, the loop just got stronger.
Okay, so we get the mechanics of the habit loop now. But there's a whole other layer to this, and it's what we can call the inner game. This is all about the stories we tell ourselves. You know, the beliefs that can either totally sabotage our efforts or be the fuel that pushes us forward.
This quote from the research on CBT is so important. It's this fantastic reminder that huge change doesn't just happen overnight. It's the grand total of all these tiny, almost invisible decisions we make every day. It doesn't even start with the action. It starts with the thought that comes right before it. And each one of those is a little building block.
So here's a core technique from CBT for dealing with those thoughts. It's called cognitive restructuring. Instead of beating yourself up and saying, I always quit, you can reframe it. You can tell yourself, I can recover quickly from lapses. Look, this isn't about lying to yourself. It's about shifting from this rigid, defeating belief to one that's flexible and honestly empowering. You change the story to change the outcome. It's that simple.
Now, here's another massive mindset shift, getting away from being purely goal-oriented. See, focusing only on the goal has a couple of big problems. First, winners and losers often have the exact same goals. Think about it. And second, it basically puts your happiness on hold until some future moment when you finally achieve it. Systems, on the other hand, are all about falling in love with the process. They let you feel successful every single time you do the habit, so you can actually be happy along the way.
I absolutely love this question. When you're staring down a habit that you dread doing, don't just ask yourself how you can force yourself to do it. Ask this instead. What would it look like if this was fun? Maybe running on a treadmill is the most boring thing on earth to you, but hiking or dancing or rock climbing, that sounds exciting. The person who finds a way to have fun is the one who's going to stick with it when things get tough.
All right, we've done the work on the inner game. Now let's get practical. Let's focus on the outer game. This is where we stop trying to rely on sheer willpower and we start designing an environment that makes our good habits the absolute path of least resistance.
To design this perfect environment, James Clear gives us this beautiful, simple toolkit, the 4 laws of behavior change. To build a good habit, you need make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Just think of these as the 4 levers you can pull anytime you want to engineer your own success. So the first law is make it obvious. Our environment is constantly feeding us cues for our behavior, so let's just use that to our advantage. If you want to run in the morning, put your shoes right by the front door. If you want to practice guitar more, don't hide it in a case. Put it on a stand right in the middle of your living room. The idea is to make your good intentions impossible to ignore.
Next up, we've got the third law: make it easy. We often think we need this huge burst of motivation to start something new, but actually, the opposite is true. The easier a habit is to start, the more likely we are to do it. And maybe the most powerful tool for this whole idea is the 2-minute rule. It's designed to just completely destroy the friction of getting started.
So here's the key. You scale your ambition way down. Your goal might be to read 30 books this year, but your starting habit is just to read 1 page. See, the point isn't to finish the book. It's to become the kind of person who reads every day. A habit has to become the new standard in your life before you can start improving it. You've got to master the art of just showing up. And another incredibly effective strategy to make it easy is something called habit stacking. You basically piggyback a new habit onto something you already do without thinking. So, after I make my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. The coffee is the anchor for the new habit. And this brings us to the final, crucial law: make it satisfying. Our brains learn from reinforcement. A behavior is much more likely to be repeated if the ending feels good. So give yourself an immediate win. After you meditate, put a big red X on a calendar. That tiny, satisfying act tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do that again tomorrow. It completes the entire habit loop.
Okay, so we have the inner game and the outer game. But what is all this really for? Well, this brings us to the most profound level of change there is: identity. The ultimate goal of building habits isn't just to do things differently, it's to become someone different. I mean, think about it. Your identity isn't just something you're born with, it's something you build day by day. And the building blocks, they're your actions. Every single time you practice an instrument, you are embodying the identity of a musician. Every time you write just 1 paragraph, you embody the identity of a writer. Your habits are literally the proof of the person you are becoming.
And here's the best way to think about it. No single workout is going to transform your body, but it does cast a vote for I am a person who doesn't miss workouts. No single act of kindness makes you a saint, but it casts a vote for I am a kind person. You are literally building a body of evidence for your desired identity, one tiny action at a time.
Just look at the power in this distinction here. The person on the left who says, I'm trying not to smoke, is still holding on to their old identity and fighting it. But the person on the right, I am not a smoker. They've adopted a brand new identity. Their behavior isn't about resistance anymore. It's just a reflection of who they are now. This shift, this is the end game. This is true, lasting change.
So, the real question isn't just about what you're going to do. It's about who you are choosing to be. With every small choice you make, every action you take, what identity are you casting a vote for today?